I'm gonna give you the pride angle here, okay? And there's two ways to approach this. One is the red meat for Bitcoiners way that these parades have become too much culturally, um, where there's a lot of adults, men and women, scantily clad. I think is a generous interpretation of what I've seen online. You can tell me that these videos are fake or that they're not all from the same year, but in my opinion, even one adult male exposing his genitals in a place where there are children should be illegal. It's illegal everywhere else. It should be illegal during the Pride Parade. Um, I think a lot of companies are coming to this realization the hard way. And to me, it's, I think, a fairly obvious move by a competent, publicly traded, especially company, to not be funding things like that. The last thing you want in the age of social media is to have your logo next to a 45-year-old man with a 35 BMI with his dick swinging out while a kid holds up a rainbow flag in the same photo. You don't want that. And I think these companies are making a good decision there. That's the red meat interpretation. The sort of, I think, more intuitive interpretation, though, is that Pride itself is already pretty mainstream. So there is no real benefit to these companies sponsoring something like this anymore. It no longer gets them any political points. And most people just accept that there are, alternative lifestyles out there, and they don't need to see it on a bus once a year for a month or whatever. Is it Pride Week or Pride Month? I forget what it is, but they just don't need to see it. And companies are saying, okay, well, this is, it's passe. It's no longer trendy. It's accepted. So why are we still funding this as though we're helping break down some kind of barrier for this community? I think that's probably also part of the decision-making rationale. I will just say that if you think that the first part of that explanation is irregular or makes me some kind of, I don't know, is bigot the right word for that? If I don't want adult men or women exposing their genitals to children, I think that says a lot more about you than it says about me, and raises a lot more questions about you than it does about me. And I think that you need to get out of your little bubble. This is not normal behavior. You would never accept this at a park or a church or a school. And so you shouldn't accept it in your streets either. Certainly not paid for by your tax dollars, though it seems Toronto residents are going to find that out the hard way.